Hi everyone and welcome back to Carla. Today we're taking some extra precautions by adding some supports at the back of the boat. And we also continue to work on the keel, so stick around and see how it goes. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot and keeps the channel going.
Well, sometimes when I get an idea, but I think, nah, it's not necessary, just do it. Just do it, because I'll probably end up doing it anyways. What I'm talking about is the bracing of this boat. As we're going to cut away more and more of the steel on the keel in here now, we're losing a lot of structure in the boat. Not alone the sheets on the side, but now we're removing the keel as well. We're removing some of the concrete, all of which compresses and then makes the structure of the boat. So this aft end of the boat is it's not getting heavier and heavier, but it's getting less and less structure to hold it up. So I want to build some kind of structure out here, and no, it's not going to be a structure. Build is an exaggeration, but we're going to put up 2 more posts and with some wedges make them carry the end of the boat, and we're going to tie them together and stuff. We'll see what we find out, but I want to support the aft end of the boat now, because today we're going to remove even more sheet metal in there, and I'm just afraid that we're going to do something that we're going to regret later. So yeah, let's get some posts, 2x4s, and see what we can do back here. Okay, first off, I want to make some wedges. I have these 2x4s, these pieces of 2x4, and we'll see if we can make some wedges out of these. I want 2 wedges on each post going towards each other, so when you hammer the wedges from both sides, you make it you expand. So we'll see if we can make those out of this. Otherwise we'll have to do something else. Yeah, let's give it a go. I really don't like the table saw. I really hate it. But yeah, well. Now we have 4 wedges. And as you can see, if you want a small distance between your post and the boat, and you can increase it by pushing the wedges together. So yeah, let's go get some posts. Just right in here, behind the plate, we have a frame. There's a frame only, I think, 20 or 30 centimeters behind the back of the boat. So we're pushing onto or very close to this frame in here, so we're not pushing somewhere we're not supposed to. So yeah, but it works really well. As soon as you have two hammers and one just holding and the other one hammering, you can get the wedges to go closer and then, yeah, well, increase the pressure on the hull. And I really think this works. We're definitely carrying some weight here. I can feel it, and you can hear it as well. So yeah, let's go do the other one. Okay, I just went in the shed and found these two battens, I don't know, and I'm just going to put them in between the two posts, just to connect them, so if one wants to move it has to take the other with it, I don't know. The more I think about it, the less effect they have, but it looks better, so let's do it. Okay, so we got these two up. Now the main objective today, I think, is to remove some more metal in here. Remove the last of the concrete. I don't know if you saw it actually. I think I did this off camera. As you saw, I emptied out this compartment for concrete. But in here, I just tried hammering on it and the chisel just disappeared in through the concrete. Turns out this is not just concrete, it's also foam. Apparently using just concrete would have made the boat too heavy in the aft end. So he put some foam into the middle of the concrete. It's totally encased with concrete. It's only concrete touching the metal, and then foam in the middle. So now it's even more important that we weigh the amount of concrete we take out of the boat. I've collected all the concrete in a big plastic tub, and then we're going to weigh it, because now, if we just filled it up with concrete, it's a matter of the density of the concrete, how much weight we put back in, but it's very little, it can vary. So I would just have filled it up to the same level with concrete and thought that, well, it should be the same now. But with the foam in there, we really don't know. So we have to weigh it. So let's open up this piece of metal as well, take out the foam and the concrete, have a look at how it looks inside, and then it's time to remove the stern tube, but we'll get to that. Now, when you see me measure and draw up the lines before I cut, like just now, I'm only measuring to get straight edges, because it's much easier if we make a straight edge when we have to replace it with a new sheet of metal. Of course, it could be any shape. We could make round holes, we could make all sorts of shapes, but straight edges are much easier. We're also going to catch it right before the next frame, instead of going past the next frame, because if we don't see any tendencies of rust tendencies or anything going over here, I don't want to open up the next one and have to remove the concrete in this one as well. If we can keep the concrete in here, I would very much prefer it like that. Of course, we'll have to remove the top of the concrete because that's where the sterntube is in, but if we can keep the bottom, yeah, would be best. So I'll have to measure where I think the next frame is inside, and then just stop maybe 5 centimeters before it. Sounds like a plan. Well, good news. It definitely seems like all the trouble we have with rust and corrosion is down here. It's all around this frame over here, and that's also where all the water came down. It makes perfect sense, but you know, we have to know for sure. And this is the only way. So now we'll empty out this one and build it up again. But look at that. Of course, it all looks very rusty. But rust is okay in small amounts, as long as we don't have any deep pits. Okay, we might actually have one there. We'll have a look at it. But now I think it's time to weigh what's in this tub, so I can get room for some more. I'll have to weigh it before we throw it in a pile somewhere. And I have a weight in the boat from when I took out the concrete in the front of the boat. So I think we'll find somewhere to hang it and then weigh this. I have. Look at that. We just made a frame that we can hang this from. Yeah, let's do that. Okay then, we removed 69 kilos and that's just around 150 pounds apparently. So yeah, but now the top is empty. I'll get back to hammering with the hammer drill. Well, that's it. We emptied out at least the top half of the concrete on top in the last chamber here, on top of the sterntube. And now I just cut both of the bolts that's holding this bracket, that's holding this end of the sterntube. I believe originally that the sterntube was free, and then later on it has been concreted in, or maybe this was just supposed to hold it until the concrete came along. So yeah, no matter what, this should be free. We'll see if we can get this off. If we can get this off, perfect. And then we're going to loosen the bolts that's holding the end of the sterntube, and hopefully we can break the sterntube free and get it out. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers, not crush your fingers. Please don't crush your fingers. Oops. Okay, look at this. Look how much metal is actually left here. Yeah, well, here is about 1/10 of a millimeter, and here is nothing. So while I was removing the concrete, I found all sorts of things down here in the bottom of the bilge. I think when the boat was originally built, things were dropped into here, and because it's so deep, well, it was easier just to concrete it in. I found string, I found a lot of wood, I don't know why. well, I don't know where I put it, but I also found some kind of bracing. I found these pieces of steel in here. Some of it was actually touching the hull, and I don't really like that because it's, yeah, moisture and everything. And then while I was working some of the wood and rope out of here, I was wishing for a screwdriver, but I was too lazy to get one. Look what came out of the concrete. It's a screwdriver. So apparently this chrome vanadium Swiss-made screwdriver, it's 40 years old and it's actually pretty nice still. Must be quality. Anyways, let's get on with it. Ow. Ow. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I never thought I was going to loosen those. Absolutely amazing. Because of the concrete, and well, maybe the bolt has been changed at some point. You never know. But the stern pipe has been here, sterntube has been here for 40 years. It's amazing, I can still move the bolts. Ow, boss. Okay. It's loose. I can see some of the paint has cracked. It's definitely moving, but not enough. Nothing has moved in the middle. Hopefully it's not welded on, but I don't think so. I think the concrete in here, it's lying in the concrete. It can only move up in there and not down. So let's try lifting it in this end. There it is. Nope. Okay, I want to see if we can drag out the stern tube. I don't think it's mounted from the inside. I think it's mounted from the outside. I see no other way to mount it. So I think it's the concrete, because I have half of the pipe is covered by concrete, makes it difficult to drag the pipe out, and we don't have that much clearance in the hole that the pipe has to come out through, so just a little bit of concrete can stop the whole process from happening. So I want to clean it down here, maybe just use the hammer a little more, see if we can clean a little more around the pipe, and then go to the outside, put a winch on the pipe and see if we can drag it out while moving it or something. Exciting. Okay, there we have it. As you can see, there's a small increase in the size of the pipe. The piece of pipe that's been used has been turned down to a specific size here, so I thought maybe this part couldn't get out through the hole, but of course it could. So now that we have it out, I think the only sensible thing to do would be to replace it. Simply get a new one made, see if we can find a machine shop that can make a new one for us, get it turned into the specific dimensions we need, and maybe make it longer. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe we should make it longer. Bear with me. Right now, it's stopping here, right? But why make it stop here? Why not take it all the way into the engine room and then put the stuffing box in there, or the blackjack, or whatever it's going to be, instead of having a long piece of bare axle or shaft. Then my original plan, or our original plan, was to put the blackjack here and then just have the axle going without anything from there to the engine. But why not put, now that we're changing this anyways, why not use a longer stern tube and put it all the way in towards the engine, and then put the blackjack in there. There's plenty of room. I'll have to think about that. If you have any suggestions, comment section below. Write it in the comment section below if you have any suggestions to this. I could really need a helping hand here. Yeah, we have to think about that. Do write it if you have any suggestions.
Well, that's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Next time we'll continue the hunt for good steel in the keel. Wish us luck. If you liked the video, do remember to hit that subscribe button. It makes all the difference. See you next time.